Back in late 2019, we did an episode on choosing a prayer book when the channel was young and the collection was a little smaller than it is today. And recently I've had a few comments in videos that people want to know why we should use a prayer book. I don't know why I didn't explain that before, so your forgiveness, please. You know, it seems, especially to the outsiders, to the non-Orthodox, and even to some Roman Catholics who have their own tradition of prayer books, that it's questionable as to whether or not we should be reading something prepared or should just be praying from the heart, so to speak, in our own words. And I'm delighted to tell you all of the above. Welcome back to Orthodox Review, the most uneducated educational program here on the internet today. I'm your host, the guy with 1 1/2 thumbs, Raphael. I'd like to thank you for joining us today. Before we get into the prayer book discussion, please, in your charity, like, share, and subscribe. It sure helps with the algorithm and all that nonsense. Also, if you're looking to support the show in any way, we have Patreon, PayPal, smoke signals, rupees. You can throw canned goods at the front door. At any rate, so it's been asked, why use a prayer book? And to those of you that are Orthodox, you might have this question too, but I get this question a lot from the non-Orthodox. So I'd like to take a crack at that question today and maybe show you a few of my favorite prayer books if you're looking into maybe purchasing one of your own. First of all, I'd like to reference one of my favorites here, and it's Orthodox Christian Prayers. And also, mind you, this is the older version here, and the preface is the same in both versions, but it's easier to read out of this one. There is a section in here that I would like to point out to you, a little bit of a section. The preface is kind of long, but this is where I began to understand why we use a prayer book. And it says, before the age of print, each prayer book was necessarily customized to the needs and tastes of the individual user. But even today, when books are mass-produced and uniform, no prayer book is printed in order to dictate what everyone must pray, any more than a cookbook imposes a menu. The hymns and prayers collected here are a great stock of various building materials from which we construct the edifice of prayer. They are a palette from which each may choose beautiful colors to paint different pictures. So TLDR, prayer books are a formula. They're a starting point. When I first came into the church, you know, I immediately wanted to start buying books, and of course the old St. Ticons here, as I'm looking away from the camera, was one of the very first ones I purchased. But the one my priest recommended to me was Old Reliable, Little Red here, because the prayer rule is simple. It's the Trisagion prayers, and then a morning prayer, the creed, a place where you can add your own petitions, and then the conclusion. Same thing with midday and evening prayers. It leaves things wide open for you to kind of mix and match what additional prayers, whether they be your own words or ones found in the book, like whatever you want to throw in there, and of course, you know, under the spiritual guidance of your priest. Another one of my favorites is the Old Orthodox prayer book, just because because no matter what prayer book you use, whether it's the Old Orthodox book, St. Ticons, the Anthologian, you're going to have pretty much the same prayers, but you're going to have a lot of variety in some of the other prayers. And so what these prayers do, these prayers were written by saints, ladies and gentlemen. But again, we can use our own words, and the prayers that were written by the saints teach us how to do that. They teach us how to pray. It's a textbook. It's when you're playing a video game, a new video game these days, you know, that first chapter of that video game is a tutorial. That's what these prayer books are. They're a doorway into a deepening relationship with Christ, with his mother, with the saints, with the church, and with each other. So why use a prayer book? It teaches us to pray. That's why we use a prayer book. Some of us, we have a hard time keeping a rule, getting up every morning and at least making the sign of the cross, God, have mercy on me, a sinner. Thou hast created me, O Lord, have mercy on me. I have sinned immeasurably, Lord, have mercy on me and forgive me, a sinner. That's part of the seven bow beginning in the Russian tradition. Sometimes, maybe that's all we can eke out. But if we're looking to build a life of prayer, it makes sense that we should have a starting point. So take that for what it is. If you're not Orthodox and you're thinking, well, should I try a prayer book? And this is my personal opinion, I would say go ahead, pick up a prayer book. Check out some of the reviews on the channel. Ask people, talk to other people about prayer books, and don't feel like you have to dive in and do the whole thing, no matter what it is in that book. These things are there to teach us to pray, and over time, maybe we can expand our repertoire and start praying in our own language that is pleasing to God, because now we know what the tried and true formula is for addressing God. I hope that helps. I will put a link below for a prayer book brain fart playlist. Prayer book playlist. And you can check things out from there. That's it. It's nothing special. Go. On behalf of Spooky Cat, her mom, and myself, I'd like to thank you for tuning in. Please pray for us. I'm praying for you. Don't forget to go to church, say your prayers, and remember God. God bless.